Afternoon.
So we saw Hall, and I think maybe Zion was on non-contact, I'm not sure, just if those are positive signs. What's the update on those guys in particular?
They were limited. They ran around. Got to see a lot more toward the end of the week.
Is there a chance that Josh Hayes could be in play this week, or is he not in play for Sunday?
He didn't practice today. We'll see how he feels toward the end.
What was ultimately the prognosis for his ankle?
Sore.
How do you bring in Keenan Isaac? Do you feel confident that that's the extent to which you have to do to offset the losses you took on Sunday?
So far, I mean, we can't have any more hits at that position. Keenan knows the system. He's played in it all summer. He had a decent camp in the summer, so I feel comfortable with him going in there having to play if he had to play.
And also, within reason, comfortable then that Zion could be back for Sunday if things continue as they go.
He only did a little bit today. We'll see how it comes along.
You didn't have a takeaway on defense, although Levante, I don't know how he didn't get that one on the forced fumble. But when you look back at the two Lions games, is the tail of the tape the fact that the Lions defense had 3 takeaways and your defense didn't have any? Is the turnover margin, is that something that has to be flipped for you guys to have a chance at it?
It's part of it. Anytime you win turnover battle, you're going to win some ball games. But they made more plays than we did overall, offensively, defensively, and special teams-wise. So you can look at any part of the game. Once you lose a ball game like that, you know, the other team made plays and you didn't. They made them, we didn't.
When you go back and look at the tape from this past game, it seemed like a lot of things were working well for Joe Tran and Shoyinka. And I know that you guys have expected kind of more out of him this year. What do you think was working so well for him that he could possibly take towards the rest of the season?
He just played a good game. It's fundamental in technique. You know, you got to get better at that every week. Having that for the first game, it's a long journey. You just got to keep getting better.
Now, is it a stretch to suggest that Detroit may end up having maybe the best offense in the NFL this season? When you look at their O-line and their weapons and the quarterback, they're going to score a lot of points this year.
They're talented all the way around, no question about it. It's game 2. I'm sure they'll tell you the same thing. They can hurt you a lot of ways, running the ball or throwing the ball. Any one of the receivers, tight ends, or backs can hurt you. So they're a very talented team.
How do you look at their O-line?
Tough, experienced, tough. Doesn't get fooled much at all. Understands the game very well, and they play well together.
Todd, what has made Jared Goff so hard to play against?
He makes plays. I mean, he's got a lot of weapons to go to. He understands the offense. He knows when to check it down, when to throw it deep. He's very comfortable in the system, and like I said, he's talented, and he has a lot of talent around him.
Seen Izzy play much safety. I know he's obviously trained there or whatever. So what kind of player is he on the back end? We've seen him at nickel a lot.
He's a safety in college. He's the same way. He's feisty. He's tough. He's going to be around the ball, and he's going to compete.
Where would you rank Jared Goff in terms of just some of the toughest quarterbacks, I guess, that you would face as a coach?
He's one of the toughest ones. I mean, he beat us twice last year. He's very tough. He's tough. He was tough when he was with the Rams, so he's a good player. I don't have a ranking for anybody, but he's a very good player.
When you went back and looked at the film from Yaya Diaby, he had several pressures on Sunday. Looked like he was shaking off some of the rust from missing the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, he played hard and he played fast. It'll get better as the weeks go on. We're comfortable with that, but he's playing hard, and that's what we liked about him.
What can you take away from last year's playoff game with the Lions and being in that environment and kind of switching over to this year?
Absolutely nothing. That was last year with the playoffs. It knocked us out. We're 1-0. We're trying to win a ball game to go 2-0.
Amon-Ra had a lot of success against you guys last year, about 10 catches, 100 yards each game. What do you expect out of him coming off the 13-yard outing last week?
No, hopefully not what you just said. So he's a great player. I mean, he's a great player. He's quick. He's fast. He can run jet sweeps. He can run deep. He's a route runner, but they got a bunch of them over there. Like I said, they're a talented team. Don't really expect nothing out of them but to run their offense, and we got to play well defensively.
What do you make of how Chris Braswell looked in his NFL debut?
He played hard. Some things he can clean up, just like everybody over there on defense, offensively as well. But he played hard. He's tough, and he's getting better by the week. The more comfortable he gets, the faster he's going to play, and we're pleased with his results.
In terms of getting rid of the ball, I think Baker had the second fastest release time in the NFL for week 1. And for him to have the success he had and completing 80%, throwing 4 touchdowns, in his first game in this offense. How well does that speak to just his ability to process things?
It's a great job of him processing and throwing to the right guys and getting rid of the ball, and those guys getting open and the O-line blocking for him.
How gratifying was it to get Chris in the end zone in week 1? Todd, I know that's a point of emphasis this season.
It is for all the receivers, running backs as well, but for each of the starting 3 to touch the end zone this week was great.
Anything else?
What does it speak to that Jalen McMillan was able to bounce back with that touchdown grab at the end after he did have a drop early on, and your confidence in him as a rookie?
It's never wavered. You're going to have some drop passes. He's human, but we know he's a great player. He has outstanding hands. He's going to get better every week, and we're pleased with him.
With Graham Barton, I know it's with Graham Barton, Brian Baldinger, NFL Network, was saying he was making blocks on Bobby Wagner on the second level that reminded him of Jason Kelsey. Is that hyperbole, or is Barton that kind of center, that high level?
I'll ask Baldy the next time I see him, but Graham is he's tough. That's why we drafted him number 1. He's got some things to learn, but we like his feistiness and aggressiveness.
You haven't said that you're excited about this.
I'm excited.